First, a word about myself. I'm representing Playfish, which is an EA company. I joined Playfish after many years at eBay, and I see in social games a lot of the same things that made eBay such a fantastic company. The network effects and the power of a brand, and the brands that wanted to work with another powerful brand. I'm going to talk a bit about that today, and how that same appeal brings a virtuous cycle to social games done right. I'm going to talk about the importance of the brand of the publisher, which brings trust to the users, and that's important when there's a lot of noise. I'm going to talk about the importance of the brand of the game itself, and that is based on a proven track record of success, and that then appeals to branded advertisers, and that the more quality game you have, the more quality advertisers and sponsors you'll attract, which gives you an incremental revenue stream to reinvest in making better games, and you're onto a virtuous cycle. Sorry. So for those who don't know, Playfish is one of the biggest players and one of the early players in social games. Got started with games like Who's Got the Biggest Brain, moved on to some of the first and largest players in categories like pets and restaurant, Pet Society, Restaurant City. These are 12, 8, 10 million MAUs. Our most recent launches, since we were acquired by EA, include FIFA Superstars and Madden Superstars. For those from England, myself, you may recognize the FIFA brand as the world's brand for soccer. For those from the US, you're going to recognize Madden as the dominant video game title in NFL, American football. And these have been very warmly welcomed by the social media Facebook audience as we've launched games with those brands. And I think launching games like that with brands that have real meaning to people, meaning from their video game experience or meaning from their offline lives, is something that we view very much as part of the evolution, the third phase of social games. The early days, the birth of the business, was a lot about quite simple challenge games, very, very casual. Then all credit to Farmville for the tremendous growth that ignited in the industry with more strategic management games. But I'm going to argue that users are increasingly looking for more and more meaning. The standards are going up and up, and that in order to get their share of mind and the share of their time, which is the most precious thing they have, you need to offer something of greatest meaning. You see that when you're trying to acquire a user through advertising, for example. I think some of the previous speakers did a great job of describing just how rapidly CPCs have gone up, and they explained many of the reasons for that. But it's a very, very competitive game out there, and we feel very good about having a portfolio of intellectual property behind us that allows us to launch games that already have a quality and an affinity group that we can tap into.